y'all. Welcome back. Welcome to the segment. Appreciate you stopping in. I know it's been a couple weeks since I put something new up, but today I felt like we needed to do something a little fun. As you all know, I'm a Lions fan. I admit it. And being a Lions fan is not easy. I've been watching these guys since I was 10 years old, going on nearly 40 years of living, breathing, and dying with these guys. Last year, when they started off 1-6, I told myself I am done. Like so many other fans say, every year, done, not doing this anymore. So I refused to watch football. Well, not football. I just refused to watch the Lions. And, you know, I had friends all around me just telling me, no, this is different. This is different. This is not the same team. You're going to be surprised. And I'm like, nope, there's no way. They got to do this, and this to get me to come back. They got to, you know, they have to beat a team. They have to beat a playoff team. They have to win on the road at this particular, you know, stadium. They have to shut this down. They have to come back and, you know, do all this. I'm just making all these different excuses, what they have to do in order to win me back. So, of course, last year, what do? All the things that I did not expect them to do. So, right around Thanksgiving, I finally started buying in. So I'm watching these guys, and I'm like, wow, this is a pretty good team. Following week, watch them win again. I'm like, okay, they lose. That's what I expected. This is a game they should have won. They're a superior team, and they lost. SOL. And then they go on this ridiculous run. Impossible run. Next thing you know, their destiny to make the playoffs is in their own hands. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't. Being a Lions fan has been like being in an abusive relationship. For so many years, we've been hearing, I'm sorry, we're going to do better. Please don't give up on me. And I promise I'm going to do better. Let me move back in. And being a victim of the Detroit Lions, it was hard to believe the promises, believe what I was seeing. And in most relationships, when, you know, it is an abusive relationship, it's not about what's being said. You have to show them. You have to be shown that you can be trusted again. The son of a bitch. They won me back. So through the course of the season, I found myself, you know, thinking to myself, man, these guys they're a really good football team. And towards the end of the year, I look at it, I personally thought they were probably one of the top 3 teams in the NFC. So after this, I've bought in. I told myself, I cannot wait for the draft. I cannot wait for next year. I am going to be at the games again. I'm going to buy the merchandise. I'm going to drink the kool-aid. And I mean, I am going to drink that fucking kool-aid. So, I bought in. I bought in so much that we're going to actually go over my predictions for the season and what I think the Lions are going to end up doing. And I'm going to look at these games objectively, as anyone should. I'm not going to let the Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid in the big old plate of cornbread that's to my side here, you know, make me pick certain games a certain way. Also, there's something else I'm doing for you today. After we do our prognostication, many of you know that I am I love my music. I mean, I host karaoke on the weekends. So in doing that, I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. My personal favorite choice is actually Christian rock. Now, one of my favorite Christian rock groups is called SKILLET. And in 2017, they released a song. And it just so happened to be called Lions. And this year, when I was watching the highlights for 2022, for some reason, that song just kept going through my head over and over and over again. I'm like, why is this? Why? Is it because of the name of the song? Is it because, was it because of just the similarities because of the song and my love for this style of music? So it just was bugging me. So I'm like, you know what? I got to do something with this. So you guys know, you can see I'm not the greatest editor from the work you've seen on my channel, but I try. So I took the video highlights and I decided to splice it together with the song. And what came of it was actually really amazing to me. So when I played it with the music and had it synced up, the video edit actually gave me goosebumps. It made the hair on my arm stand up. And I'm like, wow, this is something else. This works. Why? To me, it was like the song was meant to be edited with the 22 highlights. So I took it and I showed it to a couple friends and they had the same reaction that I did. It got them all in the feels. They were like, what is this? And I told them, I said, for some reason, it felt like this song belonged with the highlights. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share that with you tonight. After we go through each week of the schedule and break it down a little bit and give you my prediction for the 2023 season, at the tail end, I'm going to actually add the video edit to the SKILLET song Lions. And let me know what you think. Let me know if it gets you in the feels. Let me know, if it, gets you all tingly inside. And that, or makes you want to drink a big old glass of, Honolulu blue Kool-Aid. I'd really like to know. And that, so just so you guys know, this video is all meant in fun. I'm not worried about trying to monetize or nothing. This is just all for the love of the Detroit Lions. And hopefully, you guys will actually get something out of it and enjoy it as much as I do when you guys see the video. So on that, let's get into the predictions for the year. Let's get us over to the schedule. And there we go. Okay. Let's get all right. All right. We start off week 1, Thursday night football with the Kansas City Chiefs. First of all, Kansas City is going to be on a high. They're getting their rings and they're raising their Super Bowl banner. I don't think the Lions have enough. It's going to be a huge shootout. And I just don't think the Lions have enough offense just yet to get past Kansas City. I give this one to Kansas City. The following week, we come home against Seattle for our home opener. I think last year it came down to just a couple plays. And honestly, I think because it's a home opener, I think the energy from Ford Field and, just the noise level in here on that first game, I think it's going to carry the Lions to a win. Win goes to the Lions. The following week, we have Atlanta coming in. Honestly, Atlanta's a bad football team. And this should be a game that the Lions win handily. And I am going to give it to the Lions. The following week, we head out to Green Bay in Lambeau Field. This early in the year, this kind of weather, it's going to be warm enough. It's not going to have any effect on the Lions. I know you'll say that, yeah, we beat Green Bay on the last game of the season last year in the cold. But I think having them early, I think is going to make a difference also. So I think this is going to be a game here. We're going to be trying to make a statement here, letting Green Bay and the rest of the NFC North know that the Lions are for real. I think the Lions win this game handily as well and win by at least 2 touchdowns on the road. The following week, we come home to Ford Field to play Carolina. I think the game last year, that first half was a complete and total fluke. I do not see that happening again. I do see this being actually a low-scoring game. Believe it or not, it's going to be a defensive struggle. And I think we're just going to have just enough to get past Carolina. I give this game to the Lions. The following week, we head down to Tampa. Tampa is old, the only way to put it. No Tom Brady. Everyone is beginning to get a little older down in Tampa. I think they're going to be too slow, and unprepared for the Lions offense. I think this is another game the Lions win handily by 2+ scores. The following week, we head out to Baltimore. Baltimore, for some reason, we always have trouble with this team, regardless if it's in Baltimore or if it's at home. And I think with this game, it's going to be no different. I think this is going to be that game that's going to get away from us. And it's going to be ugly. I give the game to Baltimore. The following week, we have the Raiders coming in. I think they're overrated. I think they have quarterback issues. And I don't see them being able to get past the Lions. I think this is going to be the week that the Lions defense shows up and says, hey, we're for real. The following week, we go into our bye. And then after our bye, we travel out to Los Angeles. This is another one of those teams with Lions always have trouble with, regardless of where we're playing. Now, I think because of the travel and because of how handily we take care of the Raiders, even though we have the bye week, I think this is a week where we actually lose. Again, it's just because of that travel, and it's just we've always had trouble with the Chargers. Don't know why, we always do. The following week, we come home, and we have the Bears. Fields is overrated. I think their defense is overrated. And I think this is going to be one of those games where the Lions defense shows up again. It's going to come down to maybe 1 or 2 plays, and I think the Lions win this game by a field goal. They're going to shut Fields down, but it's going to be an ugly win. The next week, Thanksgiving. The game one of the games that everybody's looking forward to. Green Bay at home. This is going to be that actual NFC North statement game. This is going to be saying, not just to the NFC North, but to the NFL, we are for real. And I think this game, the Lions win by at least 3 scores. They will win by 17 or more this game. The following week, we head down to Louisiana, to New Orleans. It's another one of those teams Lions always have trouble with on the road. But with having trouble at quarterback in New Orleans, I don't see their defense being very good. I see this is a game that the Lions could actually pull off and win. Win goes to the Lions. The following week, I think this is where our luck changes. We head to Chicago. After handling Chicago a few weeks earlier, I think this is going to be one of those games where they're looking too far ahead. They're playing the schedule game. And knowing that with a couple wins, they can clinch a playoff spot. I think this one, they get inside themselves too much. They make too many mistakes on the road. And Fields has a field day. Lions actually lose this game. So right now, what are we looking at? Chicago, Chargers, Kansas City, and Baltimore as losses. As of right now, we have 4 losses going into the season. This is predicted, 4 losses. This is what I see. The following week, we come home and we get Denver. I don't care. Everyone says it was an off year for Russell Wilson last year. I don't think so. I think he got exposed, showing that he is a system quarterback and he cannot play in Denver's system. I think the Lions here play very angry, play very aggressive against Denver. Winning this game clinches them a spot in the playoffs. Yes. Win goes to the Lions. The following week, the Lions head to Minneapolis to play the Vikings. Here, this game is not just the game of the season, but the game to determine right now that the Lions will be clinching the NFC North. With a win over the Vikings, the Lions win the North. I think this is going to be a close game. It'll be another shootout, but the Lions pull this off by a field goal or less. The Lions win the NFC North. From this point on, with the final two games, the Lions in Philadelphia, with these last 2 weeks, will be playing for home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Yes, I just said that. The Lions in Philadelphia will be going head-to-head these last 2 weeks, determining who will get home field advantage. The Lions this week head down to Dallas. Yes, Dallas has a good defense. They're going to be one of the elite teams, if not the team to beat in the East, in the NFC East. But I think Dak is way overrated. Way overrated. He is. He's the black Kirk Cousins. Just that simple. And of course, Dallas does have a good defense, but I don't think the Dallas offense has enough to stop the Lions. The Lions win this game. The following week, the Lions at home for the last game of the season. It will not be flexed. It will be standard 1 o'clock kickoff time. Depending on Philadelphia's record in division and, of course, in conference, this game here will determine which team will have home field advantage through the playoffs. Detroit, knowing that they already have a home playoff game with a bye, are prepared to do something that no Lions team has ever done. Home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Think about that, Lions fans. Can you imagine going to Ford Field for a divisional playoff game, and then the following week hosting the NFC Championship game at Ford Field with the chance to go to the Super Bowl? This town would be crazy. You wouldn't be able to hear anything. Any opposing team coming in here would be like a death sentence to them. It is going to be so loud in Ford Field this week. The crowd wills the Detroit Lions to a victory. With that, giving the Lions a 13-4 record on the season. Somehow beating out Philadelphia because of conference record and obtaining home field advantage through the playoffs. The Detroit Lions. They will win their divisional playoff game and host the NFC Championship game right here in Detroit. And this is where our season ends. The stage will be too big, but it'll be a fun game. And we will lose to Philadelphia, sending the Eagles back to the Super Bowl next year. That is my prediction for the Detroit Lions. We're going to have an outstanding season, but we will fall just short. That is my 2023 Detroit Lions predictions. If you agree with them, let me know. If you think they should be changed, tell me where you disagree. But on that, I'll let you guys go. Go Lions. And hey, enjoy the video. It's fun. Hopefully you get goosebumps like I did. Good night.
Today we live, today we breathe, today we know that we are strong when we are weak. Today we trust, we overcome, take every chain that kept us slaves and throw them off. We're not waiting for permission, we defy our inhibition.